O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Lockdown segment, LennyLocksmith.com, 24-hour locksmith. So if you're locked out of your car, your home, make sure you call them. If you need to reprogram your car keys, they do that too. And they have locations all throughout South Florida and even our friends in Central Florida, Orlando and Tampa. We have locations there, and we have another one in Phoenix, Arizona, with more locations across the country to come. All right. The lockdown segment is in. Boy, I was on the edge of my seat last night, George. Holy crap, bro. All the way to the end of that third. You know, the screwed up part was they were playing really good defense. It wasn't like the Caps were getting all kinds of shots. And they did a really good job yesterday, and then finally got the scoring we needed there down the stretch.
Yeah, I mean, had Washington won that game, you know, they would have stolen it. They didn't deserve to win. I mean, Florida deserved a better fate than losing last night. And luckily for them, they were able to not get that empty net goal with about, 2:40 left, win the faceoff, keep the puck in the Washington zone. Sam Reinhart ties it. And now, it's a whole new ball game. But, Florida absolutely played the better game. They limited Washington's chances. Washington could, with rare exception, could not set up in the Florida zone. They couldn't get the odd man rush going. Aside from that big hit on Sam Bennett that freed up the puck and sent Kuznetsov flying. Aside from that, you didn't see any of that stuff. I thought Bob was solid. I thought the new defensive pairings. Listen, Mackenzie Weegar and Gus Forsling have been terrific together since last season. I know Aaron Ekblad and Mackenzie Weegar have been playing together for so long, but my goodness, you watch Mackenzie Weegar was a different player last night with Gus Forsling playing on his natural shooting side. It just all worked last night.
Listen, man, last night was needed in a big time way. And one of the things that that Washington has done a nice job of is, I don't know, for lack of a better term, they've mucked it up a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
absolutely.
You can tell that the skating and the speed, dude, the Panthers dominate with the skating and the speed. Sure. But Washington knows that the only way we're going to be able to hang with these guys is we got to dirty it up a little bit. We got to get physical. And that's where I think, that's where Florida is kind of, they weren't the team that got pushed around all this year. But they've got to kind of take it to another level now in the playoffs when it comes to the physicality, correct?
No, yeah, but they are. They have been. The Panthers are matching them hit for hit. Washington's
last night is what I'm saying. That's the turning
point. But they've been hitting. I mean, you've been seeing some guys getting laid out a little bit. I just think that Washington, they're no dummies. These guys have won the Stanley Cup before. You've got a coach who's not only won it once, but has been to the finals twice. His guys have bought in. I said this after game one. I didn't think Washington was going to buy in for the entire season, the series, to play that style because they're not used to playing that style, but they have. They've been clogging up the middle. Last night, Florida was able to open it up a little bit. They did some smart things with the forwards. They were able to move towards the middle instead of being pushed to the sides. So Florida adjusted last night, and they adjusted to what Washington's been doing this entire series. And even though the score wasn't there, it was 1-1, 2-1. The chances that they got last night were heads and shoulders above whatever they've been getting previously, which is a great sign.
Yes, exactly. And what do they got to do to maybe create a few more of those chances so we can get a few more goals? I don't like these close games, bro. I'd like to win by 2 or 3 goals here. I don't want to give. I don't want to give any damn breathing room to these stinking Capitals, bro. I mean,
so are they, Bubba. Yeah,
I know. What do we do? What do we do to create more chances for them?
Well, listen, I think that you might see a different game tomorrow in Sunrise. Washington knows Florida's the better team. They know that they would have been extremely lucky to come out of there last night with a win and a 3-2 series lead, and that did not happen. Florida, might have that might be the last we see of the Capitals. I doubt it. I mean, we might have seen the last Capitals win of this season is what I'm trying to say.
I hope so.
Yeah,
hope so.
I think Florida. I think Florida
Still
can
good
win
on the
here
road,
tomorrow, and then
but George,
Friday night in
they're good on the
Washington. If
road.
they play that way, again, they play a good, solid road game. They hang out. Their talent is going to overcome. And listen, Samsonov now the Magic Man, Samsonov. He is not a great goalie. He's been playing like a great goalie. Now he's given up two shots on three or four, two goals on three or four shots. Florida needs to bombard him tomorrow,
Yes.
and we might see another goalie in Game 6. That's my prediction that there might be another goalie change if Florida does what it can do tomorrow.
Now, the one thing that I've mentioned from the beginning of this series is the stinking Capitals are really good on the road. Like that's the bad luck
They're
for
the
the
best
Heat.
team, and they're the best road team in the NHL.
Yeah, the Heat and the Capitals ended up picking up teams in this round because the Sixers are actually had a better road record than they had a home record. You know how screwed up that is. And then you look at the Capitals with the Panthers, and you go look at their road record, and it's freaking dominant, man. So
Yeah.
they have a comfort zone too on the road, and I don't know what the hell it is, but Florida, and they've already had success here. So that's the other thing that it's almost like message needs to be sent early by the Panthers, not just physically, but also offensively.
Listen, one thing we've talked about, and it blew my mind to hear it. Players saying that, oh, there was nervousness, that we didn't come, we weren't ready to play, yada yada yada. I think last night went a big way in this team growing up and seeing what's needed, and they played 60 minutes. They played grinded out hockey. They didn't get frustrated. They shut down, aside from the deflected goal, they shut down Washington's power play. Washington had a 5-on-3 for almost a minute and
know.
barely got off a shot. Florida's power play outshot their power play like 10-1. So Florida did a lot of good things. They learned a lot of good things last night, and that's going to help them immensely. Now they've seen it. They've done it. Move forward. All that nonsense about nerves, all that crap. I believe it.
For
But I can't
sure. They
believe it.
haven't been.
I believe it, but I can't believe it. But
No, but wait
okay,
a minute.
if
George,
that was
George,
the case, that's the case. But move on.
But George, this is not a team that's ever been punched in the mouth. This is not a team that's ever been tested. So
They were
all of
last
this
year.
is no, but this is the year that you're really tested. Here's you had the best record in the league now. People are going after you.
Sure.
Here's the other problem I have with the Panthers that they've got to eliminate. We got to stop falling behind, bro. Got to stop falling behind. I get it throughout the regular season. It was this novelty that we enjoyed, and they stormed back and all that. This is the effing playoffs, bro. Let's start.
Well, sometimes you can't help it, right? I mean, look at Washington's 2 goals last night. Florida should have scored 4 or 5 goals last night and only had 1. So sometimes you can't help it. Washington gets a deflected goal by TJ Oshie again, his second deflection
that was
on a power play shot tonight in this series. And then you give up that. Yeah, so they didn't really fall behind. It was only 1-0, and it was only 1-0 for 5-6 minutes. So.
No, but we've fallen behind in other games. It's just what I'm saying. It's just one of those.
Well,
things
and in those games, they just flat out lost. I mean, but last night, yeah, no, I know what you're saying. You would like to not have.
We've had a lot of comebacks this year, a ton of comebacks this year.
Sure,
you know what I mean.
But this is a different animal, right? Because back in the day, we all got a point. We all got a point, and a lot of times the team the Panthers were playing were thrilled to get that point. So when they went into overtime, it was like, go get them, boys. We got our point. It's not that way in the playoffs, obviously. It's a 5-on-5 in the playoffs. It's a winner-take-all kind of thing in the playoffs. Different world now.
Did you think they were losing their cool a little bit early on with all those penalties?
Somewhat. I thought some of the penalties were a little odd. There was some questionable ones. I mean, the delay of game. I mean, you don't see a delay of game when you're clearing it around. You got to be smarter than that when you're an official. Who the heck is trying to throw that puck into the stands for a delay of game? He was clearing it along the end boards. He was obviously just trying. It hit something, right? It had to hit the cage to deflect up. So, there were some weird calls in that. And in the Bennett call, I thought because it was high, you should have gotten 2 minutes there. I don't agree. There shouldn't be a suspension, and there won't be a fine. on TJ Oshie. He used his shoulder. That was a shoulder hit.
Yeah.
But still, when you see a guy, his head whipped back, that's usually 2 minutes, So Florida, Washington got away with one there because that,
Yes.
boom, they got a goal right out of that. So
Yes.
Washington gets away with 2 there and a big one with the goal.
Yeah, they got a little home cooking there with.
And I'm not an official. I'm not a referee guy. Listen, the officiating in all of the playoffs, not just this series, leaves a lot to be desired. And we say that every year. And the NHL does nothing about it. The NHL does nothing about it.
Well, still nothing worse than the NBA.
You'll see the same. You'll see the same goofballs refereeing in the Stanley Cup Finals. You'll be like, what?
Yeah. It may be questionable, but still nothing's worse than NBA refereeing. It's still the worst in all of pro sports. I'm sure
but
international.
At least with the NBA, at least you've got, they look at stuff, at least you can have stuff overturned. In the NHL, there's only a few plays that get overturned, and you have that penalty. If you're wrong, it's a delay of game. The other team gets so you don't review as much as you would. In the NBA, it's almost too much with it because the refereeing is so bad. They have to review like everything, right?
Is the worst. All right, what are you working on Florida Hockey Now? So folks can check it out and subscribe. Damn it, $3 a month. Give me a break. Go. What do you got?
We got a big story today on Carter Verhaeghe, just on his long road to the Florida Panthers to becoming a playoff. Yeah, stud. I mean, listen, this guy won the Cup in 2020 with Tampa Bay, but he only played 3 games in that 6-game series. He wasn't on the ice when they won it. Last night, he got the chance to be a playoff hero, and man, he really relishes that role. The Panthers are thrilled for Verhaeghe, swaggy, as they call him. I asked Andrew Burnett about, Verhaeghe. I'm like, what does this mean for him? And he just starts laughing. He's like, man, we are so happy for Swaggy. So check it out, FloridaHockeyNow.com. We've also we've got all the links and stuff that you want to read about from around the league. We've got the Washington side of things. So check us out. 2 stories today. There'll be 3 by the end of the day, 4 or 5 stories tomorrow. Nobody covers the Florida Panthers like FloridaHockeyNow.com.
There you go. And I feel for Burnett, bro, because his job is on the line right now, bro. He has to have success in the playoffs in order to take that stinking interim tag out. What happened in the regular season is not what's going to get him that job. It's what happened.
And he knows that.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Of course he knows. Of course he knows. I saw with one of those penalties, his face was like, oh, God, I can't believe this. That kind of stuff. You feel for the man. All right. Follow him on Twitter at George Richards, as always. And please subscribe to Florida Hockey Now, like some of us do. So support the man. George, thank you, my brother. We'll catch up next week.
All right, Orlando. Be good, brother.
You got it. That is your lockdown segment. Omar Kelly is next.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.